it.
Well,
How did you? What? What? You're already busy.
hmm
So why would you decide I want to add on to my already busy schedule and run? Why would you do that?
that's a good question, huh? It's something about serving others.
Okay.
And like I always tell people that I asked God if He would take care of my family and my children, that I would do whatever He asked me to. And it just came. I said, hey, how about city council? I mean, sometimes, we think that God's is a big roaring voice or something that happens,
Right.
but it just comes. And I think it led up to it because when you mentor young people,
Hmm.
and you're in a room and you're telling them that they can be all that they could be. You can do whatever you want in this lifetime. And I thought about myself. I was at a standstill. You're doing the same thing every year.
Hmm.
Children and young ladies and young men are coming through here. But what are you doing different to show them that you can be whatever you want to be? And so as it all came together, I said, an election came up and they said there were some seats available. I thought about how good Colleen has been to me and to my family. And I said, well, I work all the time. I wasn't working for city council.
Right.
I was working because I wanted things better. I was volunteering because my children were playing at school, football and sports. So yeah, I joined the booster clubs. Saw the football locker rooms with other booster parents, and Coach Board was the coach then, and we said, hey, he started saying about televisions and carpets and stuff going. I said, well, why not? So I started selling hot dogs. There was a reason for everything. It was not a reason to be seen or a reason that you have to do it, because there was a need for it.
Got it. So your motivation is service.
It's service.
You're
Yeah.
staying in service
I'm
to
staying
it.
in service.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
a lot of people don't realize this, but or don't know this, but we're both members of Greater Vision, and we
Yes.
have the honor of being deacon and deaconess and
Yes.
serve our church and serve the people of our church too. So
Yes.
I kind of knew that
Yeah.
going in
Oh,
to do this, but I think
yes.
it's important for you to explain that
Yeah.
to others. So where you from originally?
I'm from Mississippi.
Okay.
My parents were teachers. My dad was he's a teacher of agriculture. My mom is a business teacher. I started typing in shorthand at 6th grade. I started picking greens and planting stuff
Yeah.
6th grade, and they taught me everything. They didn't teach me a girl trade or a guy trade, but whatever they knew, they
They
gave it
pass
to
it on.
me.
What a
And
blessing.
whether it was canning, whether it was picking peas, whether it was, sometimes my dad would plant this garden, and I would ask my mom, I said, why is dad planting all that food out there? And then when it's time to harvest, he would say, get that bag of string beans and take them up there to Mrs. Kimbrough. Pack this, dude. I said, we planted all this food, and you got us picking this stuff, and we're going to give it away. And then he would say, Nina, you share what you have. He said, learn to know how to share and take care of people. When you're full and your cupboards are full, then show other people, give, and be happy about giving. Be happy that other people are eating. Make someone else happy. He said, Miss Kimberly can't maybe pick a garden. I shouldn't call names, bless her soul. And she gave to us what she had. And so it was just always I'm from a giving family. A family who, I always say that when your parents or teachers, you become a community. I think I'm a community product because people fed into me.
Nice.
No matter what you did, they would come and they would say, hey, good job. Or if you needed something. I tell you, I think I've had the best of life. Not perfect, didn't have fancy stuff, but I had the best. And I still have the best parents in the world. When they knew that I was about to run for city council, my dad, who's a commissioner himself,
Okay.
and he has a school, vocational tech schools are named after him. And my mom and dad, my first thing my mother does, go out and get T-shirts. By
For
the
you,
time
for
the
your-
election, but
right.
by the time the form had hit, I had so much stuff, and I was like, oh my, because they cared to give me to ensure that I did a good job. Everyone don't have parents that have the time, the resources to ensure that you have the best.
Right. Right.
Now, there are some stipulations to getting things. If I give you my best, you better act your best. So I have to even act my best. Over 50, they expect a certain kind of demeanor a certain kind of person. They expect for me to be my best at all times.
That's a wonderful distinction because in order to give your best, typically someone would say, I want that in return. But no, what you're simply saying is act your best,
Act your best.
represent
Yes.
us and the giving that we're giving you. So you kind of put a face
Yeah.
to that giving, and now you get a chance to share your parents
Yes.
through your work to
Yes.
everyone else,
Yes.
who doesn't have the fortune to do that. So,
Yes.
so what brought you to Colleen? What?
Well, I met my husband at Alcorn State University. Woo! Go Braves! My father, I'm from a family of Alcornites, and I met him at Patton's grocery store. Now you got to think about Alcorn. It's a HBCU.
Right.
We sit in the middle of beautiful green agriculture land. I have to push us out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I met him. I fell in love with him, and from there we got married. He was an Army guy. Do you know I did not understand in the morning when the platoons would be running on campus, and they were saying howdy howdy, singing the little songs.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on. I had never seen that. All I had seen was the Army commercial. Be all that
Right,
you can
yeah,
be
right.
in the Army.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay. I met him. I married him. His first duty station was Fort Hood. I remember coming into Nolanville, and there was nothing.
How long ago was that?
1988.
Oh yeah, that was way.
We came in 1988. There was nothing. And I was sitting there. He was my first guy, my first boyfriend. I'm sitting there and I married this man. And I'm looking at everything around me. I followed him to Fort Benning, and I'm thinking, something is wrong with where we're going. I said, I just left the country. I want to be a city girl now.
Right.
Came in here. First night, we were at La Quinta on 195.
Mm-hmm.
Someone stole everything, all our wedding gifts. So they broke into my little raggedy car. They got my gifts. And I said, Caesar, what are we going to do? And he said, you'll be okay. Came, the first come, we stayed with a friend. He's Lieutenant General Sidney Thomas now.
Okay.
And we stayed there about 2 or 3 weeks, moved to Elm Grove Mobile Home Estates.
I know where that is.
You know where Elm Grove Mobile Home Estates?
Martin Luther King. Yeah.
Yeah, we stayed there in about 2 years and finally got housing on post.
Okay.
Went to Pershing Park. And that's why I tell people, when you don't know someone's story, you don't know the difficulties of life, of not having but a little, and then God blessing you with a lot. Mm-hmm. And I just believe that when you give unto others and you do it with a good heart, that God will bless you and your cup will runneth over. And once we moved on post and got established, I got a job. I worked at Sally Mae.
Okay.
I worked from 4 to 9. My supervisor was Brenda Coley, and just worked hard. Finally, everyone started leaving Sally Mae, branching out, going to school, finishing up my nursing. Finished up my nursing at CTC.
Oh, you really a local girl.
I'm really a local girl. Finished up nursing out at CTC. Started having my children. All my sons were born. You asked me one question, but I just went on with
That's
it.
all right. No.
It's something about being in the backyard. Went to CTC, got nursing, had 3 boys, moved to Willow Springs Road. You see the development I'm working, FRG leader out on Fort Hood. Move to Willow Springs, buy a home on Willow Springs Road, start still having babies. House got too little, moved to Blue Bonnet. House got too little. And my husband was deployed to Desert Storm. He was in Iraq. Mm-hmm. He was in Iraq. It was his first war, and came out here, and I saw all of this land. And I said, that's where I want to be. I want to be where I'm used to being.
Right.
So the kids could run and have fun. And there was a gentleman. His name, I love the way he used to say Dale Cannon. And when he answered his phone, he said, Dale Cannon. And I said, Mr. Cannon, are you he said, I'm building a house right here. He said, and I can build it to your specifications if you want it, Miss Cobb. And then he asked me, he said, well, where's your husband? You got these fine boys. Where's your husband? I said, he's in lieutenant. He said, oh, he's a butterball. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that a first lieutenant or second lieutenant was a butterball. I said, don't call my husband a butterball. He said, no, it's because of the gold that's on it.
It looks like a butterball. Yeah.
But I didn't know.
Right.
That's worse than me calling his commander the double lieutenant. because it
Right.
was 2 silver bars, so I figured he was a double lieutenant. But he was a
You were
captain.
very green.
I'm very green. I didn't know anything. But what I did know was that I felt like this was going to be home for me.
Nice.
And I knew I had to make the best out of what I had. I worked 2 jobs, 3 jobs. I worked long and hard hours. I was still accomplishing before I came. I had been a school nurse and had done a lot of different things after receiving. So I always tell kids, if you can't go to the big universities in the beginning, there's nothing wrong with CTC. CTC, after I finished, I worked in so many ways. I was a medical service director, a school nurse, wrote the studies with the American Association of School Nursing, a published author
I wonder.
with Judy Vesey, Norma Crapat. We did studies on high school students and their blood pressure and their welfare. And it all came from CTC. People love for me to tell the stories about the big things, but they don't understand the little things and how hard it is. So I understand struggle. So when people come and they see where I am now, I just want to say, I wish you knew my struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's important because all of us have our own
Yes.
story.
Me too.
All of us. And you just don't pop in and everything materializes here.
Yes.
So
You just don't come to clean.
yeah. Yeah.
You just don't come here.
Right. Right.
There was a reason.
Right.
I didn't even know what Killeen was.
Me either.
I didn't know what the largest, this man said the largest army installation. He was so proud to tell me that when I got here.
In the world, by the way.
In the world.
In the world. Yeah.
And I looked at him and I said, the only someone I know that big is Jerry the World Rice. And he played at Mississippi Valley State. That's how country I was.
I got you.
And it didn't get better.
I got you. So with prayer, you sit in that seat. Why should people be led to vote your way or swing your way in as far as putting their vote in your name? What is it?
I believe that I'm the right person at the right time. I believe that I have compassion. I believe that I know struggles. I always tell people that I have an inborn fondness for the associations with Killeen. Yeah, Tunica, Mississippi will always be my home. That's my foundation. But I have another home, a home that helped me with education, that had places and spaces for me to work that met my needs. But most importantly, it grew a little girl up. It grew a little girl up to love where she was. The community, our senior citizens, they had youth programs for my sons. At that time, we could go downtown. There were stores that were open. Balfour Men's was there. I remember my children being suited up for the prom, or he's still there. There are people that mean a lot. Ray Mayhorn, the real estate lady. I used to love to see her and Anita Reinhardt or Joe Buford, and how when they talk to me about homes, I think that we have to get back to those foundations. Mr. Aldridge, Elvin Aldridge, was the first real estate guy that I ever met. And he had been, so I think that my love and my care and my concern and my compassion, I'm just in my dealings. I try and be courteous to everyone. I believe in that First Amendment right of everyone having the right of speech. I believe that everyone should be treated fairly. There should be no injustice. Look at property taxes right now. I was so glad Mr. Shine wrote that letter. I was trying to figure out how was I going to compose this letter because I'm paying too much for property taxes this year. It doubled. Those were concerns. And then for those persons who say to me, Mrs. Cobb, you don't understand construction or infrastructure. Little do you know, my husband is a contractor. My sons who went to school for different fields and have worked in them went back to help my husband with construction. So I understand blueprints. I understand infrastructure. I understand what it means to work 3 or 4 months to receive money to pay folks. And the IRS is right there waiting for theirs. And then after you get through, there's only a little bit left. And so that's got to take care of your family. I understand. I get it. I don't think I have to be the loudest person in the world. You know how they say the squeaky wheel get the oil?
Right.
I'm not a squeaky wheel, but I understand. I don't think I have to be a bully. I don't think I have to put fancy signs all around town. You want people to know who you are, but I want people to know Nina Cobb. I want them to know who I am. Yeah, I'm running for city council, But I think, again, I'm the right person at the right time. I think we need a little in check. I am not perfect. Oh my goodness. I love boots, shorts, and t-shirts. Anybody who has ever seen me know that I can wear some crazy stuff. I may not be the most fashionable person. I like fried chicken for breakfast. I'm kind of weird at times, but I still have the heart to do the right thing for people.
Absolutely love it. So, when is the election? What's the time frame? When can we get out and vote?
Early voting starts October 13th,
Okay.
and election is Big Tuesday, November the 3rd. I hope everyone come out and vote for me and support it. It's important. Voting is important. I don't know if you all realize this, but this is the centennial anniversary of the women's right to vote. Can you just think about this? And this morning when I was looking at Gayle King and CBS News, they were showing the different pictures of ladies who were showing their moms and grandmothers and those ladies who have ran in the different races. Not only do I get to vote, I get to be on a ballot. An African American woman on a ballot to run for office. So win, lose, or draw, man, I'm a happy woman.
This is fantastic.
I mean, think about that today.
Yeah, I absolutely thank you for allowing me the time to sit and talk to you.
Thank you.
I wanted to do this with you because I know your passion.
Oh, thank
And,
you.
we share time together once a week. Prayfully, we can go back. And,
Yes, I miss church
do
on
that.
Sundays.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
I do.
And then, of course, our meetings when we meet with the deacon and deaconesses. I know just from those small snippets that your passion runs deep.
Oh, thank you.
And it runs over, and you are truly honest and really for people other than yourself. So,
And when you can't be honest, you just don't say anything. That's what I always tell people.
right.
If I can't be honest about it, I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just going to look at you real crazy and not say anything.
I got it.
But I do want to say something, Deacon Cooks.
Please.
I want people to understand that I understand senior citizens. When I tell you that I have a platform about senior citizens, I've been to the Gilmore Center. I've worked the yearly senior citizen expos. And I've always asked people, well, what do you need? What is it will make your quality of life better in Killeen? And they always go back to transportation. They always go back to saying, how can I get to these things? They always go back to maybe mail-in medicine, some of the things that we can't. We have to work with our Chamber of Commerce. We're going to have to work with economic development and our city managers. I am only one vote, one voice. When I think about our youth, we just got to have a place that all of this wealth of information. There are so many wonderful people in this town doing so many wonderful things with kids and making kids' life better. But you may be in the grocery store and you hear a mother talking about she got to take a kid somewhere and you hear of that program. I love 211 because 211 is basically our wealth of information for the city of Killeen. I think that we're going to have to teach our organizations and our persons in this community to enrich the 211 system by giving them your information. So we tell people when they come into Killeen, just think about, I told you when I came through Nolanville, I didn't see nothing. There was nothing.
Right.
There was nothing nowhere.
Right.
I had to depend upon other people. So that 211 is important. And I want to talk the revitalization of downtown areas.
Please.
We, right now, under our bridges and downtown, all we see are homeless. We see so many homeless people. COVID has not made, I'm a nurse. COVID has not made it any better because we can't work and we're social distancing ourselves and there's a need for help. We've got to listen. We got to do the right thing. When they tell us that we cannot be out and about, we got to nip this. COVID has to go away, but it's going to take all of us working together so that we can get back to work, so the economy can start booming again. We've got to do the little things. With downtown, we got to do the little things. We got to restore some stuff. And then we got to be invested. I'm invested.
Got it.
I'm invested. Everyone has to be invested in what's going on around me.
Not just money.
Not just money.
Yeah.
Time and energy.
Yeah.
You got to be invested. And then our first responders. As we build outward, we're gonna need more first responders. We're gonna need more police, more firemen. We're gonna need more nurses. we're going to need those persons who help all of these folks who are here. So as we build, we do have to get more. I've I I was a business owner. Well, you can know now I'm a multiple business owner. I'm a florist. So I have flower shops in the airport. And I never forget that my first opportunity was when Mayor Hancock was mayor, and that city council voted that I could put flowers in the airport. Oh my God, I was so excited about the flowers in the airport. But I learned something else while I was in the airport those years. I learned about the comings and going of persons when they come to Killeen, when they leave, what their needs were, and why did they not stay. And then I learned that first responders, our policemen, they have lives. They have children. We get all upset about the no-knock warrants. Man, I'm just as concerned about that policeman going in there as well as that family that's sitting there. Yes, our police is important. We have an excellent police chief, and he's doing a great job. But the fondest that I grew for those gentlemen that were there at that airport, listening about their kids, seeing the things that they needed. They're people too. We have to start at home with I had to go back and reteach my sons on what to do if you see a police officer. Do you know how hurting that is? That I've got to teach that when I was in a place with officers who I knew their heart, and that 2 or 3 bad officers just made those guys look bad.
Right.
Man, it hurts. But we have to be smart, and we have to take care of those who are going to be taking care of us. So I wanted to get those platforms because those are so important. Sometimes people say, Miss Cobb, what you going to do when you get there?
Exactly.
Well,
it's obvious you have a plan, you have a vision, and you have a
yes.
goal
Yes.
that you're working towards, and you're definitely not short of any ideas or the projection that you want.
And other people's ideas are in there too. I want it, people can talk to me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And what I really love is that you are so entrenched in this city. It is you. This is your home, without a doubt.
Yes.
To do it, and you've taken it in and raised your family here as well.
Just think. When I told you when you came up, this is just my little spot in the world. Mm-hmm. It was nothing here. And to see my sons grow up and be appreciated and have bad times. I've had some really bad times at times with things that would happen, life circumstances, and a community that rallied behind you and say, it's going to be okay, Miss Cobb. We got you back. We got you. And then knowing that God would bless you. And so, again, I told him if he just helped me and keep my 3 sons and my family, that I would do whatever he would ask me to do. I don't know about city council and how it's going to be, if I'll make it or not, but I know that I have the willingness in my heart to hope that we can make other people's lives better. It's just like the guest house. I told you the story about I have to tell the story about the guest house.
Please.
Can I?
Yes.
Am I taking too long?
No.
Okay.
No, you're
all right.
fine.
Because that's a special story for me. To see your kids grow up to be men. I sit out here on the back porch, or I sit out here or see my grandchildren come and play, and I think about my husband who was in the military. He's retired now, but he came back and he didn't spend a lot of time with the boys. It was just the boys and I. Most people will always just say, they're going to need in the boys. Miss Nichols, Kamara, and Coach Nichols' mom would always say to me, there go that lady and the boy. I had a Corsica, and if Tim Cannell was living, he could tell you how me and that Corsica stayed on the side of the road. It got so bad, he said, we're just going to say this is a lemon car. And I had to go get another vehicle because I stayed going. Right. But when he came back, my sons had always wanted a tree house. Well, they were 9th grade. Daniel was 7. David was about 6th grade. And they said, Daddy, you never built us a tree house. He said, well, I don't think you all need a tree house. I said, let's just build you a house. And I'll never forget him teaching them about plumbing and blueprinting and ordering concrete and how you have to wear your rubber boots and use the water to keep the concrete smooth. Yeah. And I saw these little boys just out here just working, but they were learning at the same time. And they built their guest house. It's a guest house for me now, but it's a tree house for them. But I got it totally different. We know.
Right.
And so I think that we've got to give people the same opportunity that we had when we came. It's important to me. That story and looking out on my back porch, when I look over here, it's nothing fabulous, but it's mine. That's right. It's theirs, their story. That was their bond with their dad, putting in a basketball court and looking out, and all the high school kids are out here playing basketball. No one being abrupted, no one cursing, no one out of themselves, of different nationalities, of different colors. It's important that we build for everyone. And again, this is what the centennial for women and women's suffrage and voting.
Got it.
When a young lady see me, I want her to be proud of me, not because of city council, proud because I'm able to vote, to run, and to make a difference.
And to be on the ballot.
And to be on the ballot.
That's right.
Just imagine
And
that.
to be on the ballot.
Yeah.
One more time for
So,
the
yeah.
dates. For the
Okay,
election
I'm still
dates.
going. I can talk
That's
all day
right.
in my backyard.
That's
Y'all
right.
ever want me? Come back here in the backyard. That's pretty. I hope, as my mom, I hope I've been ladylike with this. But,
You have been.
but
very much
yes,
so.
voting starts, early voting, October 13th, and the regular voting is November 3rd. Vote Nina Cobb. I'll do my best. No promises, but I'll do my best.
How wonderful. Well, thank you very
Thank
much.
you,
Thank you for the
thank you,
time.
thank you,
I
thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you, thank
And,
you,
you
thank
know,
you.
you certainly have my support.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you, thank
I'll
you,
talk
thank
to you
you.
later.
Thank
Well, you
you.
guys talk. I'll talk to you guys later. This is Ron Cooks. I'm with All City Real Estate. I am with Nina Cobb. Please, she is voting for City Council for the seat at large.
Yes.
Right, for the seat at large.
Yes.
So check her out. Make sure you keep her name in mind when it is time to vote. And check her name, Nina Cobb. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you.